Okay, ladies, aloha. So tonight we are doing the 90-day Boss Babe Challenge, and we are doing the Eric Worre Go Pro chapters 3 through 6. So we started last week. We learned a bunch last week. Crystal did a great live and kind of talked about a few things. We worked on Amanda challenged the team to do a 200 people Frank's list, and a few people participated in that, so that was cool. And we'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. My mom snap, you guys, I got it down. If any of you watched my video the other day when my kids were supposed to be locked in their room when I was doing a live, and I'm like, the mom snap. It's my favorite thing. I don't think they listen to me very well though. But anyways, so the Frank's list, the challenge was 200 people. So that was awesome. I updated mine, and I have about, honestly, if I'm really being real with you guys, I need to probably update even more. I probably have another 100 that are on different lists that I have going on through my planner. And as you start working and progressing your business, you'll find that to be what happens. So trying to put it all in one spot is really helpful. So basically chapters 3 through 6, I want to go back to a little bit talking about becoming a professional, and when you're starting this business, you're an amateur and you're kind of toying around with it. Let's see. Sorry, Ronnie, I just muted you. And then becoming a professional and training yourself. And so I just wanted to touch a little bit more on that, because I feel like that's something that people really overlook in multi-level marketing and why people aren't successful. Most people are not willing to train themselves. So they don't have themselves involved in a good book, some type of motivational series, Les Brown. I mean, there's a million. They're just not training themselves. They're not utilizing the tools that the company has. Plexus now has Lexi, which is huge. She's been doing all of my dirty work the last couple of weeks, and it's amazing. It saves me so much time, worth the money for sure. And then we also have, the back office, and they Aspire now. So we have so many tools, but generally people, they think they're just going to get lucky, and they're just going to make it somehow. But the reality is, to be a professional, you need training like any other job. And so training yourself, I just want to talk about that again for a minute, because I can't tell you how important that I think that it is. I mean, I know that it is. I started out with no training, no experience in multi-level marketing or in sales. And in the first few months, I wasn't successful. And I think Amanda has had similar experiences with that too. It's like, once you really tune in, hey, sister, and you're training yourself and you're using those tools, you will create momentum for yourself. Amanda, I'm going to unmute you just so you can chime in when you want, hun. So I feel like that is definitely true. You're creating your own momentum by your daily activities that you're doing, your money producing activities, but also by your training. If you're not training yourself, you guys, I'm almost guarantee your momentum isn't there. And I find for myself personally, when I'm not personally involved in some type of training for myself and my business, my personal momentum slows down. So I try to make sure I'm always training myself. And like I said, Plexus offers so many great tools. So why not, So that's it. Like, getting to work on becoming a professional, super, super important. And then also so chapters 3 through 6 kind of covers a lot of things. One thing that I think is important, basically we talk about growing your business, right? And how you're going to grow your business. And, people always say or think that they need to be this huge influential person. I don't find that to be true at all. I think that once you start and you're involved in training and you're using your tools, you can be super successful. You don't have to come into this business as an influential person. I've met many people. I was surrounded by diamonds at the convention that, in my personal opinion, are not influential people. When you meet them, I wasn't thinking, oh my gosh, this girl is amazing. I want to do what she's doing. I want to be on her team. And it just goes to show that you don't have to start out that way, and you don't have to continue to be that person when someone walks in the room and you're like, wow, their presence. It doesn't have to be that way, you guys. You just have to have the tools, and I know that Jessica's talked about this before with our team. Everybody's business is going to look different, right? So Anise to Amanda, me to Ronnie, me to Corinne, it's all going to be different, and all of our personalities are different. And you just need to do you. So don't have it in your mind that you have to have this huge, Facebook audience. You have to have all these followers. You have to have been you would have to have been an influential person for years. None of that. And none of that matters. Just start from now. Start training and start working on becoming a professional. And all of those things will happen with time. Obviously, those diamonds that I didn't think when I met them were influential. They didn't take me and go like, whoa, they made it for some reason, right? They're using, we have more tools than those diamonds ever had. They're the pioneers of Plexus. And now we're the next generation of diamonds coming in, and we have so many tools to utilize, which is awesome. Do you want to add to that, Amanda? Did you say something?
Well, pretty much touch bases on that. I mean, it's kind of like you don't want to reinvent the wheel either. You want to do, because obviously what they've done is working. You know what you do when you're your own person. I mean, you don't want to,
right.
Like you like to say is don't Plexus on people. You want to build relationships. You want to do all that stuff. You want to socialize with your friends. You want to build new friends. So you should always be adding to your group so you have more people to reach out to in the long run. Mm-hmm. So your business doesn't all of a sudden say you're trying to go gold and you have 20 people and all of a sudden that 20 people quit. Like, then you're like, crap, where do I start now? So then, I mean, it could happen. I've heard of it happening, but you just keep reaching out and that's all you can do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that kind of brings me to a few topics that I wrote down. If you just do you and you're always putting yourself out there to meet new friends and making relationships, I know a lot of people say they don't have time to build relationships. Guess what? If you don't have time to build relationships, you guys, you don't have time to build your business, because it just won't happen, because people are going to feel like you're prospecting them all the time. You want people to feel good about their relationship with you. You don't want them feeling like, oh, I don't want to go to lunch with Amber, because she's just a shark, or, oh, I'm not going to return that phone call. You don't want it to be like, when people value your relationships, they're going to value what you have to say and your opinion on things. So really spending that time to relationship build is so, so important. I can't stress that enough. I think that's huge, which kind of, I got off track a little bit, but I'm going to jump back to what Amanda was saying too, with numbers and always adding people to your circle. If you're just doing you and you're open-minded and you're building relationships all the time, you're going to keep adding people to your circle, to your media, to the people that are exposed to your business. If you talk to one person a day, right? One new person a day, that could be a grocery store checker. We went in shopping in downtown Winnemucca today. Ended up talking to the girl. She's like, oh, you're from Hawaii. Oh my gosh, I love when people bring me stuff from Hawaii, like buyers. And I was like, I'm your girl. Perfect. So she's like, this is so great. This is what I'm looking for. Here's my cell phone number. She gave me her cell phone number, not just her Facebook. I put her Facebook in my phone. Then she personally gave me her cell phone number. And then I said, well, since you're sharing with me, I might as well share what I do from home. And I gave her a pink drink sample that I had in my purse. Now, you guys, like I've told you before, I haven't even ordered business cards. I have no flyer. I've never done any of that. And I'm about to rank Ruby. So just remember, just do you. So I pull out my little pink drink. I know she has me on Facebook. She already messaged me back today, which is perfect. That was like 3 hours ago. And I was able to just give her my sample. But it's like, if you're talking and just doing you everywhere you go, you're going to build momentum and a business out of it. It's just going to happen, because then you're adding people to that circle every single day. So think about it. What, you had one person a week, or a day? That's 7 times 4. What is that? 32. So 320. So it's like 365 days out of the year. I mean, if you're sitting at 200 Facebook friends, you're going to have a ton by the end of this career, which you could retire from this career in 4 years if you do it right. Seriously. Which brings me to my next thing, which is, what if I told you right now you could make $20,000 this month? Like, what would you do? Is there something that you would do differently right now if I said, guess what, 20 grand this month? Yeah, I bet your freaking buns there is. You'd be freaking getting to work, right? Because I know I would hustle like probably harder than I'm hustling right now. Let's not lie, right? But the reality is, Plexus is offering us an opportunity to make $20,000 a month plus. Okay, that could take 1 year, it could take 2, for some it could take 3, for some maybe 4. But the reality is, we're being offered an income of $20K a month or better, right? And our spouses are offered that, or our significant others are being offered that. that's huge. Where else are we going to have that opportunity? So when you wake up, in the morning and you're going to bed at night and you're not squeezing in those daily IPA hours, really ask yourself, like, do you want to earn $20,000 a month? Because I'm telling you, I do. And I'm 100% confident that I will. I can't tell you when it's going to be that I make it all the way to the top, but I will make it to the top. I will make 20 grand a month, and so will my husband. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, because why wouldn't we take that opportunity? I don't have anybody else lined up to be like, I'll pay you 20 grand a month to work from your phone and work from home and travel with your husband and your children. I got my check today, you guys. It was $1,500 plus all of my bonuses weekly. And I'm only senior gold? Like, I'm nowhere in the company yet. Like, that's huge potential. $2,000 a month, you guys. My girlfriends work full time at the bank jobs, the high school, yard duties. I could go on and on about these jobs where they're pulling about the same income or a little bit less, and they're outside of the home. So it's like, even my mom likes to complain, or not complain, but I think she likes to tell people how hard I work. But in that, she also talks about how I'm always working. And I just stop her and say, I'm always working because I have an opportunity just like you to set my family up for the rest of their lives. So yes, I work. I'm home working, so I turn off all of my stuff when I want to take time with my kids. I turn my phone on silent, I set it down, I go play a game or whatever. Yeah, then I come back and work for an hour. Guess what? Then I go back, so I'm just like learning now how to time block, which is working out well. I do suggest that. And that was Sarah, what's her name? The diamond?
Sarah Marbles.
Yes. We talked about time blocking. Yeah. So we talked about time blocking, which I'm learning to do so that I can just focus on my kids when I want to play, and I can focus on my work when I want to work. So, and then when I want to hang out with people or do something socially, it's in my calendar. And that's just how it is right now. Or I want to go on a date with my husband right now. Like, hey, let's time block how we're going to hang out. Because I am on a mission to help as many lives as possible and to create a different financial destination for my family. So, ask yourself that question. Do I want to make $20,000 a month? Because I'm pretty sure your answer is yes. No matter what your financial situation now is, if you're not driven by the money, think about the lives that you're changing. These are people, they're not points. Yes, we get paid on a point system, but there are people, there are friends, there are people that we care about. So think of it that way. How many lives are going to change if you make it to diamond? Thousands and thousands and thousands. Steph has now 10,000 people on her team. And those 10,000 people have reached so many thousands of people changing their life financially and health-wise. So just, remind yourself of that and your why you're doing this for sure. And like I said, just doing you, talking about Plexus everywhere you go, but not puking Plexus, spending the time to relationship build. Those are really key things that I think I've learned a lot about in the last few months. My super shy husband, that made that video, he's, I guess, decided to do a whole 180. So he flew home the other day without us. And he texted me between flights and he said, hey, so-and-so sending you friend requests. And I was like, are you slinging Plexus on the side? And he starts laughing and he's like, yeah, I gave him our contact information. I was like, awesome. So then long story short, he flew for 5 hours in the air, but they didn't go anywhere. They flew back to Arizona where they started. And he had met some other people and he's like, okay, heads up, these people are friend requesting. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing, I'm making friends. And I was like, oh my. So this is the guy that get his coolers, sit in the corner, everywhere we went, get his coolers, sit in a beer, by the way, sit in the corner and not talk to anybody till he maybe felt like he was a little bit comfortable. To now he's making friends on flights, putting them on my Facebook page. That's crazy. But I will tell you what, the products have worked for him and he's seen our business grow and he sees what I'm doing and he's like, I don't have to maybe work in the union. He's been working in the union for 15 years, ladies, and I'm going to surpass his income in probably 3 to 4 months. That's crazy. So just keep that in mind. Like I was also talking about, not everybody looks the same, him and I function completely different. And he's, sorry, my internet's giving me trouble, going and making these leaps and bounds in his personal growth, which is kind of cool. So I think I'll open it up. I'm going to unmute everybody. that's pretty much, my take from these chapters, focusing on daily IPAs. And with that too, I want to challenge everybody to, okay, I'm going to unmute everybody. Is that okay? I want to challenge everybody.
I'm not. I'm going to let her out and feed her.
Okay, hold on, you guys. Just kidding. I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm going to let you unmute yourself if you want to talk. How's that? It works out better. So I want to hear from you guys what your number one takeaway was from this week's chapters 3 to 6. So Amanda, do you want to start the group off?
Yeah, actually, I haven't really been doing the phone calls where I get people off social media, like I'll get them by their email and stuff. And then, so yesterday I, did a phone call. I did a 3-way with Amber, which was huge. So if anything, if you're nervous about a phone call, do a 3-way message with your upline or, a sideline that you're super comfortable with. That will help seal the deal for you. And then tonight I just did one. So I feel like chapter 5 was for me because, it gets you off the prospects, like she wanted to be a preferred and then now she's signing up wholesale and she mentioned, she's like, I'm actually really interested in the business. So I just went from like 3 levels up where I was just thinking of so that phone call, the steps in chapter 5 were huge for me and you could totally relate it to Plexus also.
Yeah. And I'm starting to lose you. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Like I was afraid of phone calls at first too. And now I'm like, I would so much rather talk to somebody on the phone because you don't really know what they're looking for. It's kind of like text tone, you don't know somebody's tone of voice when they're texting. So sometimes you're like, what, she put no smiley face. She did this or he did this. Like it's hard to tell what's going on. It's the same thing for your business guys. If you're not on the phone or in person with them, it's hard. And they're only going off the information they have. And maybe they're missing a little bit of information to make a better decision for what fits for them. Just like Amanda said, she had no idea that she wanted anything to do with the business, let alone even do wholesale, so Amanda just jumped up leaps and bounds. And the fact that she brought up the business is even huge. So getting somebody on the phone is a great way to skip a lot of steps, So say Amanda didn't get her on the phone. She signs her as a preferred through text. She gets her orders, maybe another month and a half goes by. Amanda converts her to, wholesale. Then maybe another month goes by. Oh, we reach out. Do you want to do the business? That's like 3 months. That's a long time. Like a possible missed opportunity for her and for you and for me, So I think that's great. I love that. All right. Who else wants to share? Any others? Any other volunteers? Don't be scared.
I did a phone.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Good girl.
Like last night, and it ended up going funny because she said she was just going to do the pink drink, and I was like, okay, because then if you're trying the pink drink, I know you're going to love it and want to move on from there. And so then she goes in and does an order with just ends up with triplex, and so we had that whole fix that
right.
But now an ambassador. Then other person I signed today also messed up and she thought she was doing preferred and did customer. So I need to try and be on the phone with them when they're signing to help them.
That's a great thing to talk about, Ronnie, because in the beginning too, I would constantly do that. Here's the directions, let me know, I can help you through here. And only sometimes will I say that. I try to just set up a time to enroll them and then I'm calling them, and then it's step by step. And even step by step, sometimes they still miss stuff. I mean, I've had my other sister-in-law has done that before. Customers, they refuse to put on their convenience orders or whatever. But at least you did your part. You know what I mean? By calling instead of just saying, okay, here's the directions, which is a total kind of off topic. But when we're doing that and we're sharing with people, I just want to mention, because some of us are new to this, that we're not sharing our website till they are ordering. So I just want to bring that up because it's right here in the front. Do not share your website until they are ordering product. You don't want to send somebody something if they're not sold on it, right? So you want to be sending information leading up to them ordering. So I never, ever send out my website until somebody says, okay, I'm ready to order. And then I'm signing them up. I tell them when they ask for the cost, I give them the breakdown. Triplex is just less than $4 a day. Go ahead, Amanda.
Oh, and it just gives you to the point to like relationship build. So you'll like want to do a Plexus thing. You always want to end with a question, you know, in that conversation, and say they just have to go offline.
Yeah.
You still have that question, so you can with them, and then that just goes to show that you're trying to get to know them and be a part of their goals rather than being like, here's my website. You know, I've done it at the beginning. I had no clue.
So did I. Yeah.
I never had network marketing. So yeah, I was slinging the website like, hey, check it out. But no, really, I had no. But I've had success with like following up with people on their health goals. And, you know, then when they come to sale and be like, okay, where do I buy? Then that's when you give it. And it works.
Yeah. And then even still, you know, you can set up that phone appointment at that time too. Be like, okay, awesome. Let's get, you know, does 1 o'clock. Usually I find offering a time works because then they'll bounce back if that doesn't work for them. Instead of it being wishy-washy, I'll be like, hey, I have time in 15 minutes. Are you around? Or, hey, I have time tomorrow morning around 10. Does that work for you? And then that's giving them a window, you know, to jump on it right then or say, no, but 2 o'clock in the afternoon works or whatever. So, yeah, I love that.
Guys, when you get someone who wants to buy the product and is ready to buy the product, and then you give them your website and they still don't buy the product yet, what do you do?
So that's super great question, Annie, and it's very common. So you just have to remember that nobody's in a hurry, right? Like we talked about the other day, like we know the benefits and we experience them. So like we can't run out of our supplements. It's no bueno, but they haven't experienced that. So there's no urgency for them. So you just have to do your job as their health coach following up, you know? So like I have a girl right now, did a phone call last week. She was going to sign up that night. I didn't see her in my system. So I checked in the next morning. She said, oh, it was giving me all these errors. I'm like, oh man, I wish you would have called me because I've got tricks, you know, and that's the thing. We have so many tricks, right? Like their social security is put with, you know, dashes and it doesn't work, or their billing doesn't match, you know, the same that the bank has. So their CC gets declined. I mean, we've got a lot of tricks up our sleeves. So I was like, oh, I'm so bummed you didn't call me because I got lots of tricks. And she's like, okay, well, I don't have time till next week. And I said, okay, no problem. You know, like, I mean, I can't push her to do it. But then I was like, well, what day do you want to chat? You know, and so again, now we have like another appointment to set her up. But it's common. You just have to keep following up and remembering that they don't have urgency yet. You know, you do because you want them to get their products and start them and see the benefits, but they don't have that yet. So I know it's super annoying. It's just something as like time goes on, it's how it is. I pretty much always have like 15 people like front line to sign up with Plexus. Either as a customer or an ambassador, about 15 people I'd say generally. And I think Amanda would agree on that. We're always, her and I are both running around the same numbers all the time, 10 to 20 people ready to go. And it's like, they're ready when they're ready. It's all about timing. So all you can do is keep following up and then, you know, like plug them into that event, right? So she hasn't done it yet. Plug her in, which I think I know who you're talking about. Plug them into that event, tag them, you know, let them know, hey, this is super awesome. I know you're going to order, you know, or whatever. So check this out because these are the results you can get. Little things like that, you know, verbiage that you can use will help. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Anybody else, ladies? And we can open up to questions, you know, also. Okay, so I don't want to keep you guys away from your families too long. It's almost 7, so I think we'll wrap it up. This week, what I think that everybody should do, so we did the 200, we updated our Frank's list to 200 people last week. So if you haven't been involved yet, make sure you post that to Amanda's post in Boss Babe so we can see. You know, in the beginning of this challenge, I kind of told everybody, I know I'm kind of hardcore, but if you don't have time for yourself, I don't have time for you. So you guys all being on the call are showing me that you guys have time to build your business and you have time for yourselves and families. And then that makes me want to have time for you, right? So just make sure you're still participating in the post. And then this week, I think really the goal would be is to really think about the $20,000 a month question that I was talking about and what your goals are, where you want to be and when. And Amanda's going to post something after we get done with the call. And we just want to know where you're at. Where are you at? Because we want to help get you there. Okay, I'm going to mute all you guys again. Sorry. I don't know how that happened. I thought we were all muted. Okay, so that's a little bit better for me. So Amanda's going to post, what are your goals and how can we help you, basically. Why I'm muting and we're getting unmuting. Okay. What are your goals? Because we want to help you. So if you want to be gold by next month, we need your 20 people plus a little bit of a cushion this month. So you get your rank next month. Unless you're selling welcome packs, a double this month, you don't get your points till next month. So if you want to be gold next month, we need to make that happen. It can't just be like, oh, I want to be gold. Like, it's a numbers game. So if you're going to be gold next month, we need a list. It needs to be written out. And we need to go for it so that all of your points are there this month to come through next month. So when they first order with a welcome pack the first month, you get 0 points. So you're set unless they spend over $100, right? They have to spend, it's over 100. No, not 100, 200. I'm sorry. So if you get the double triplex, you're over that $200 mark. And the reason being is because they don't want to reward. Okay, what if you sign somebody that month and they get their welcome pack and then they don't ever order again? So it makes sense for Plexus to do that. So set your points up this month to rank next month. A lot of you are close, and some of you are starting from, the very, few numbers. You maybe have one, you maybe have two. That's okay. It's still obtainable, right? So don't give up and think, oh, that's not going to be till like August. No, if you want it to be a goal and you want it to become reality, we're going to work for it. So Amanda will post that in the comments or in the team page, the 90-Day Boss Babe, and you can comment and let us know what your goals are, and we will work with you guys on getting you to your goals. I think I mentioned in one of our threads that we have about, who wants to get to potentially, Ruby, which is hopefully where I'll end up. I don't know, fingers crossed, this month. But who wants to get to Ruby? Let me know, put that in the comments. And so I'm going to personally coach a few people. Like I said, if you have time for yourself, I have time for you. So let's do it. I'm super excited. So I think that's it. I think that's going to be our week. And then obviously we're chapters 6 through 9? Yeah. So do 3 chapters again this week and ask yourself that $20,000 question, and that's it.
Hey, Amber, I have a quick question.
Yeah, babe, what's up?
So I started out with like less than 200 friends on Facebook.
Yep.
Is you got to start building up your Facebook page. So now I'm up to like 350. But when it's all about relationships and building and just so. I know that it's probably different for everybody, but is there like a good, like, you obviously don't want to become these, their friends and then like a week later say, hey, have you ever tried these, Plexus? So,
right.
I guess not a set time frame, but is it just kind of like how the relationship is going, or like because I mean, I'm obviously I don't have that many friends, so I'm going through a lot quick. So how, like, what's, I guess, a good way to kind of do that?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So basically, the number one thing is they're watching you. So it's not even that you're reaching out to them about Plexus yet. It's that you're being consistent with your business on social media. So you're posting twice a day. It doesn't have to all be Plexus, but it's your lifestyle, whatever you're into. You know what I mean? That's your brand. You're posting about it. Then you're throwing in a Plexus post here and there. That's super important. I find so many people, they never commented on one thing or like one Plexus post, and I sign them up all the time. And so it's just a great reminder that people are watching. So it's not necessarily that you have to reach out right away or that there's a time frame, but that they're watching you, and then you're building those relationships with those people. Another thing that's easy to do is making that Facebook, separating your feed, making your list, and you can have that relationship building list. So you can click into there on your Facebook, set your timer for 10 minutes and can be like, I'm going to, build these relationships for 10 minutes on this list. Then I'm going to go back to my main feed, and send messages. If you don't know how to do that, what I think we should do is we'll post a video on how to do that, how to edit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll post
I think Kelly had I remember her showing me how to do that. So I'll just have to kind of play with it. You can't do it from your phone, right? You have to do it from like a desktop.
You can do it from your phone.
do it.
Because when I finally got a
Oh.
computer, I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this like real life stuff on a PC because I've been working from my phone for like 6 months. Now I finally have a laptop. So you can. So we'll post a video about it, but that is a time saver right there, right? Because everyone's like, I don't have time. Yes, you do. Set your timer for 10 minutes. Comment on those people's pictures, engage with them in different ways. Find something that you're compatible about, so it's not necessarily the time frame like you're saying, it's just the way the relationship is going. And then remember that they're constantly watching you guys. So if you're not posting about Plexus or showing your lifestyle, there's nothing to watch. You know what I mean? People get disinterested. I mean, it's really silly. Like everyone's like, oh, you do lives all the time, you're so great at them. I'm like, it's not that I'm great at them, you guys, it's that I do them because then the algorithm on Facebook bumps my post to the top and thousands more people get to see what silly things I have to say, like the other one I did the other day. Amanda's laughing because she knows. So I was like, did this video about it snowing in June in California. And I was like, I'm wearing a tank top dress or something totally airheadish. But I'm like, I'm just me. I just do it. You know what I mean? And then whoever wants to stay tuned in can stay tuned in. And if they don't, they can check out or not follow my stuff. But yeah, so just stay consistent and make that list and you should be good to go.
And can I say one thing too?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then one thing you want to do too is like go into groups, join groups, like mommy groups. Your cute little baby in the video over there.
I know, so cute.
Actually, he's my nephew.
I was wondering, I'm like, that's not your child?
I'm like,
No.
so if you're interested in, just go ahead and start on groups in Facebook, you know what I mean? And then, eventually you like things, just click add comment, like maybe earlier, and then add your friends list. So, like, things like that. When I started,
You're breaking up really bad. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I thought it was me for a minute. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, I don't know. But anyways, just go and add some friends from the groups that you join, and then also just build thick relationships with them. Like Amber said, they'll watch.
Yeah, they'll watch you. Okay, anybody else have anything before we go? Deb? You're good. Okay, ladies. All right, you guys have a good night.
Thank you, Amber.
No problem. Aloha.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.